So I'm Mark Stiles, president of Bliss Machine and owner. Um, Bliss Machine started in 1967 in the founder's garage, Dave Bliss, and he basically built it up from there, moved into a pole building, and got it to the point where it was didn't want to get it any bigger, and decided he wanted to get out of it and not run it anymore. And that's where I came in December of 1990, I believe, and bought the business from him. He stayed on and worked for me until he retired. And since then, when I bought the business, it was pretty much all cam machines. And one of the first things I did was wanted to get CNC machines in, and we've done that, and doing, about close to $3 million a year now. So Bliss Machine is a Swiss screw machine job shop. We do a lot of different industries. Probably the biggest industries that we're in are the hand tool industry and pneumatic tools, also in the food service industry, and the musical instrument industry. So yeah, when I originally bought Bliss Machine, it was all just cam machines, and one of the first things I wanted to do was to get into CNCs, because my previous employer, that's what I was doing there, was working on CNC machines. And the beauty with CNC machine now is that we can drop the part off in the main operation complete. So there's less handling, less chances for things to get messed up and scrap to happen. And that's kind of the philosophy that we've done with getting new technology in here, is we want to be able to machine the part complete and drop it off complete. There's still, secondary operations of sometimes deburring and stuff like that that you can't avoid. Or the cycle time just gets too long for some of that stuff. And they've got to be heat treated and ground and plated and that stuff yet, so. So in 2008, we bought our first Citizen machine, and that was a Fennec controlled K16. And we bought that machine specifically for a specific job that we were doing, where we had to hold some tight tolerances and concentricity and stuff. So the machine worked out very well for that project, and kind of got our feet wet there with the Citizen machines. And then the next machine we bought was another K16 that had the Mitsubishi control, and that was our first chance of working with a Mitsubishi control. And the transition wasn't anywhere near as bad as what I thought it could have been. Went a lot smoother than that. So the rest of the Citizen machines we've gotten have had Mitsubishi controls on them. And then we've just recently purchased a Miyano BMX, and that machine basically gave us more diameter capacity, because we were pretty much limited with all of our Swiss machines to 1.25 inches through the spindle. We had one other conventional lathe that went up to 1 5/8, but now with the BMX we go to 2 inch through the spindle. So that's saved us some time and made things more efficient, because we don't have to saw cut slugs anymore and chuck them with stuff up to 2 inches in diameter. One thing that I've seen over the years is that manufacturing, since I've bought Bliss Machine, has changed quite a bit. I mean, the new technologies out there with superimposition and just some of the things that you can do with the controls now are, you know, way beyond what I originally thought we'd be able to do, you know, back in the day when CNCs were just they were just first coming into our shop. Um, and I'm not sure where the next step is. I know a lot of places are doing machine monitoring and all that kind of stuff. We haven't embraced that yet, but it's definitely something I'm looking at and considering, um, just to, you know, try to stay ahead of maintenance and stuff like that, especially these days when everybody wants stuff right away. I mean, I just opened up an email this morning that, you know, today's Wednesday, and the guy wants to know if I can have 60 parts done by Friday. Well, it's maybe possible, but I don't think it's very likely that that's going to happen, especially with the workload we have. And I think that's one of the things with looking at some of the new technology is that, you know, everybody wants their stuff right away. And, you know, when you're busy, that's difficult to do, to be able to do that. And I've honestly thought about having a machine dedicated to just doing emergency jobs like that. Obviously, you'd have to price out accordingly, and whether or not people want to pay for that kind of stuff is always a big question. So I guess to end this up is, you know, why should you choose Bliss Machine as a manufacturing partner? Um, and that's a really good question. I guess the answer to that is because we I have a passion for this industry, and I'm not just here to make money. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I enjoy a challenge, and I think most of my guys also are in that same category that I am. And we're a smaller shop, but we have a lot of the big shop capabilities, and without that big shop price tag that's on it. And I try to always buy quality equipment, whether it's machine tools or inspection equipment. Um, I, I'm I'm a firm believer in you get what you pay for, and I think that makes us more competitive because we have the equipment to be able to do some of the very tight tolerance stuff, and yet we have the um, small shop mentality that if somebody does, you know, call up and say, "Hey, I need this like right away. This is an emergency," that we can jump through them hoops and make that kind of stuff happen yet. And we're not bogged down with bureaucracy of a big shop. So that's why you should choose Bliss Machine.